Hi everybody, this is Fred with Personal Time Outdoors. I'm in a hotel room just outside of Denver, Colorado. My wife and I are going to spend a couple nights here, and then our plan is to go backpacking for 2 nights in the James Peak Wilderness, which is about an hour's drive away from where we're staying. Now, I've never really done any backpacking out west before, so this is a trip that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. And everything that I've learned and seen about the James Peak Wilderness, I'm expecting the scenery to just be spectacular. One of the things that I am concerned about a little bit is the change in elevation. Cleveland, where we live, is roughly around 700 feet above sea level, and where we're going to be camping is around 10,000 feet above sea level, so that's quite a drastic change. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to spend at least a full day here in Denver. Denver's around 5,000 feet above sea level. So I'm hoping that by spending some time here, it'll help us acclimate to the altitude a little bit so that we won't have too much of a problem when we try to go backpacking tomorrow. Now, I have spent some time, we vacationed in Yellowstone National Park, which is like around 7,000 to 8,000 feet above sea level, and we didn't have a problem there. But then again, we weren't carrying backpacks up a mountain at the time, so that could make a difference this time around. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that we're going to be okay, but we're going to spend some time here. I think we're going to go check out Boulder, which is nearby. And I need to go pick up a fuel canister at REI for our stove so that we can cook our meals. As I'm sure you're probably aware, you're not allowed to fly with a fuel canister, so that's something that we are going to need to buy here. So I'm hoping this is going to be a great trip, and I'm hoping that we can get you some great video and maybe a few cool photos as well.
After breakfast, we took a drive over to the city of Boulder, which was probably only about a half-hour drive from where we were staying in Broomfield. There was an art festival taking place down at the historic Pearl Street Mall that we checked out for a while. After that, we decided to eat lunch at a place called the Bohemian Beer Garden. As you would imagine, they specialize in German food, and everything there was really good. We would definitely recommend it if you're ever in Boulder. So after lunch, we headed over to the local REI to pick up a fuel canister, but unfortunately, they only had the larger 16-ounce size cans in stock. I really didn't want one that size, so we tried the Dick's Sporting Goods, which is near our hotel in Broomfield, and luckily they had the smaller 4-ounce size cans there. All right, so we've made it to the Moffett Tunnel parking area, and we're getting ready to head off on our hike. Just got our packs all ready to go. They're a lot heavier than what I would have hoped, but it's the best we can do for right now. But essentially, we're heading up somewhere that way. That'll be interesting. The Moffett Tunnel marks the beginning of the trail. This is where the parking area is. And that's actually an active train tunnel that's still in use today. It says it was built in 1927, and it actually goes right through that mountain. And up there, where that snow is, that's the area where we're headed to. The trail starts right over there. Yes, we have arrived.
Well, so far the hike hasn't been too bad. The uphill's kind of gradual, and there's lots of shade, at least so far in this first part of the hike, so it's keeping us from getting too overheated. Um, haven't really had any issues with the altitude yet, so keeping our fingers crossed with that. We're mostly hiking along this creek down there. We're like up above a ravine that the creek's down in the bottom. Not sure if you can hear the water running or not, but it's kind of nice to hear that as you're hiking. So the moose we passed earlier has decided to come up kind of close to our campsite here. I just hope he stays down there. I'll give you some idea just how close he is to us. There's the moose. Here's our tent. So I'm having Mountain House spaghetti with meat sauce, and Sherry is having home style chicken and rice. We're pretty much starving, so I'm sure they're going to taste great.
How is it, Fred?
It's all right.
All right. That little groundhog wants it.
So I thought I'd give a little tour of our campsite. We found this little clearing here. It's right next to a little lake that's next to Rogers Pass Lake. It's just before it. And it looked like a good spot. We took it, and I'm thinking it might have been a really good choice because there's not other people camping around us, so that's kind of nice. So we got the tent over here, and over here I set up a rain fly so that if it rains we have some place to sit, cook our dinner or whatever if it does rain the next couple days. So we already had dinner, and we sat underneath there, and it was nice. So I think I'm going to show you our view now. This is the lake I was telling you about. Nope, actually Sherry took a walk down there, so she's checking it out. So there's the lake. Like, this is what we're looking at around us. It's absolutely incredible. Got a waterfall over there coming down the mountain, and I'll take you over and show you the view here on the other side because it's pretty nice too. Absolutely incredible. That's still snow up there. Those white areas are still snow up at the top of the mountains. It's absolutely beautiful here. Never seen anything like it. I've never camped anywhere like this before. Not a half bad campsite. So I'm not gonna lie, that hike up here kicked our butts a little bit. There were areas where it wasn't too bad, where it was kind of a gradual uphill, but man, there were other areas where it got really steep, and you're climbing over rocks and roots the whole time. And it was definitely very challenging. One of the most challenging hikes I've ever taken with a backpack, for sure. So, feeling okay now, a little bit headachy. We ate dinner, and that seemed to help. I was able to take a little ibuprofen, so hopefully that'll go away. I'm sure that some of that is because of the altitude that we're at. But all in all, I think we're doing okay. I think just a little bit headachy. I don't feel nauseous or have any of the other symptoms. So I think we're okay. And Sherry actually seems to be doing better than me. So no problem. I think by tomorrow we'll be in good shape. Absolutely beautiful here in the morning. Well, good morning, everybody. We actually slept really well. It's nice sleeping with the stream noise behind you. It makes it very relaxing. You don't hear the sounds of the forest, and we actually both slept really well. It's kind of cool. You wake up in the morning and you got moose. I don't know if you guys can see that. You got moose in your front yard. So these two bull moose have been hanging around the area. We've talked to other hikers, and they said they've been here for a few days, and they don't seem to mind having people around them, that's for sure. They kind of just, that's about as close as they get, which is fine by me. It's actually probably a little closer than I like, but still really cool to see that in the morning when you wake up. And there's our bear vault.
All right, so what we're gonna do, we just finished up breakfast, cleaned up campsite a little bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go take a little day hike, and we're gonna check out some of the upper lakes. Just leave our campsite where it is, and I just have this small little day pack that I brought that we'll take a few things with us, and we'll go see what's up the hill.
So this is Rogers Peak Lake. It's actually really close to our campsite. I didn't realize it was this close. Just went up a little bit of a hill and here we are. Absolutely gorgeous. Something that's a little unusual for us people from Ohio is we still had snow to walk through here in mid to late July. So this is Rogers Peak Lake from the bluff up above where you head up towards Heart Lake. And yes, that's a heck of a climb. So this is Heart Lake. It's a little bit hard to tell from this angle, but you can kind of see the way the shoreline forms kind of the top of a heart. And that's obviously how they gave it its name. This would not be a bad campsite here either. This is on the far side of Rogers Peak Lake, or Rogers Pass Lake, I should say. And you have to kind of walk around the lake. If you walk around in a counterclockwise direction, you'll come to this. And nice thing is you got a good view of the lake over here. Over this way, you have the waterfall. I mean, you would have to walk down quite a ways to get some water, but you know, at least it's somewhat nearby. And as you come over here, where Sherry's sitting, you got a really nice overlook of the lake. Our campsite is down that trail that way. That's the trail that comes up. So if you go down around that hill, you'll come to where our campsite is. We've just been walking around exploring some of the side trails that are up around Rogers Pass Lake. Came down to this one here. It's this really cool, like, big boulder formation. Actually, Rogers Pass Lake is like right over straight that way, like right below that mountain there. We're not in Ohio anymore. This is the lake that we're camped right next to, kind of on the ridge that's up over to the right side of our campsite. Our campsite's actually in those trees over there to the left. You can't really see it from this angle. Maybe when we walk down a little bit further we'll be able to see it. Here's another view of the lake that our campsite's right next to. And if you see that trail that I'm going to zoom in on there, just on the other side of it you can barely make out that stream going into the lake there. So our campsite is somewhere up in those trees. I'm not sure if you can make it out or not. I'll zoom in as far as I can go. It's somewhere up in this area. This is a little lake that's kind of adjacent to the lake that we're camping next to. From what I can see, there's no name for it, at least not on the map. But we just decided to come over here. We've been trying to work our way around it. We're about 3/4 of the way around. We started down at the far end down there and worked our way around this way. And came up around this way. So it's been interesting. There's a lot of boulders. It's really kind of a technical hike. A lot of boulder hopping, some blowdowns, but still pretty neat. Pretty neat place. So there's my wife. She's trying to figure out how to climb up to that waterfall. I'm guessing she's hit some kind of a stream crossing or something. Well, it looks like she's getting closer.
So for night 2, both of us are having this chicken fajita bowl. It looked pretty interesting when I was putting the water in. I think it's going to be pretty good. Good morning, everybody, from day 3 at the James Peak Wilderness. Today is the day we are going home. So we just finished up breakfast and we started packing up camp, finished that up, and then we're going to head on down the trail. We had a little bit of a rainstorm last night after we were already in the tent, so that wasn't too bad. It just kind of blew through. And fortunately, it's so windy here. The wind's already dried everything off, so at least we're not packing up wet gear. So we're going to head down the trail. I'll probably film a little bit more for you, and then I'll wrap it up when we get back to the car. One of our neighborhood moose is on the trail here. Guess we got to kind of wait till he decides to move on. Well, at least going back, it's all downhill. So this is pretty much what the trail has been like coming down. And all of these rocks, you know, you just have to really watch your footing and choose your steps carefully. But I will say this, it's much easier going downhill than it was coming uphill. Well, that's a welcome sight. Finally back to the parking lot. As I said earlier, going downhill was easier than going up, but still a pretty challenging hike to say the least. Pretty technical in places, but we had a great time. Finally made it back to the car. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. This was a fantastic trip. It was everything I expected and more. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to my channel. And also if you could hit the like button, that helps a YouTuber out quite a bit if you can do that. As you can imagine, I did a lot of planning for this trip. As usual, I'll be posting my debrief video where I'll go over all the details with all the information that I used to put this trip together. So if you want to take this trip yourself, maybe that'll help you out. Thanks for watching Personal Time Outdoors. Have a great day.